Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ben Taylor podcast. Today we're focusing on UKSA, United Kingdom Sailing Academy, which nobody ever says, everyone says UKSA. And this podcast is brought to you by the Superyacht Services Guide, a trusted network of superyacht services that is on board many yachts all around the world and trusted by crew and captains. So, nice to see you, Chris. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's have some context here. So UKSA, what is it all about? What are you about?
Yep.
Bit of context.
So UKSA founded nearly 40 years ago now by a really passionate sailor, Noel Lister, and his wife Sylvia. And they had a real passion for the sea and the impact it can have on young people. So that's how the UKSA was founded. And still now, through the journey of UKSA, one of the things that we're still true to is them original roots. Yeah. So we are there to inspire young people for a career in maritime or inspire them about the water. So we take everybody from 8 years old, and we can train them all the way through, all the way up to a super yacht captain.
Right.
So
okay.
if you were to put it into a context, we inspire them for a life at sea or inspire them for the water. We then develop them for a career in maritime. So one of our big areas is career training. Yeah. So the first stepping stones to a career, whether that's a yacht master, water sports instructor, a career on a super yacht, like this lovely one we're on here today.
Yeah.
And then the professional development on top of that. So once they've been at sea or they've worked in their job, we then bring them back to UKSA and give them further qualifications, CPD training, so that they can move up the ladder and further their career in maritime.
See, I think this is so important because it's that whole, how do people first engage with water in, on or around it? And so yes, that can start as a kid. It can start with just a day on the water having fun. Then come qualifications, then comes, okay, well, there's the whole career side, and that then feeds all the people who make it right the way up to a large yacht captain and really engaging in part of the industry.
Yeah. I mean, we are the only place in the world that has the amount of pathways. So you can go from, 8-year-old, come on a schools and group activity, really inspired about the water sports, sailing, and then you can come back on our Maritime Futures programme. So the Maritime Futures programme is about inspiring young people, 14 to 24, about all the opportunities there are for them as a career in maritime.
Okay.
So, myself, that's the route that I took when I came out of school. I wanted a career in maritime. So this programme is about, do you want to work on super yachts, water sports, be interior crew, engineers? So we open up their eyes to all of the industry that's out there.
Yeah, so first it's the awareness. It's just this career exists.
Yep.
Like not many people come to Monaco and see these and meet the crew and know that someone's the chief engineer on board. There's not just the captain. There's all sorts of other different roles around the industry. How does this kind of lead into all the training that you provide? So there's kind of basic qualifications, then more and more advanced. Do people kind of disengage with the UKSA and then once they're ready for the next qualification, come back? How does that kind of journey look like?
I guess the sort of first step of a career is we run 16 to 18 career-based training, which is government funded. So instead of going to college, you could come to UKSA and start your journey for a career in maritime. 16 to 18, you can either live with us on our residential site, or you can live at home or live elsewhere. So that's the first journey. When you get to 18, because really you need to go and work overseas, you need 18 years old, then you can sort of start training into your specific area that you would like a career in. So is that interior training? Do I want to be a yacht master qualification, which then will lead to an officer or a master 3000 qualification? Do I want to be a water sports instructor? So we've got a real wide breadth of destinations that we can train young people in. Once they've had their first career or their qualifications, they then go out and work in the sector. what we then find is we have a really good sort of outreach and alumni program where we're keeping in contact with them to ensure that they come back and further their qualifications with us.
Right. Okay.
So that's what we would call our sort of professional development training.
Yeah, and it's also retaining them in the industry. It's keeping them up to date, qualified, and involved in maritime.
Yeah. That's ultimately the idea. So we don't want them to drop out. We want them to stay. It's a great industry to work in. We want them to continue the journey. Really. Yeah.
Because I hear an awful lot. So a lot of our audience is the marine industry, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the employers of these people. Yeah. We keep hearing all the time skill shortage. Yeah. People don't know enough or what kind of careers they could have in this industry.
Yep.
How does a business engage with UKSA? How do they benefit from all this human resource and talent that comes out of it?
So there's two things really that makes UKSA unique, I think. So one of them is our career service. So we have a careers team that are working directly with the industry to support the young people into employment. And that careers service is for life. It's not a one-off, you do your course, we help you, support you, get your first job. Yeah. That support service is there for the rest of your career. So if you took a career break for 2 years and you came back in, you could get in contact, we could recheck your CV, we could tell you the best places to apply for roles, etc. So our careers service is really unique. So from an industry perspective, if the industry wants to work with UKSA on the recruitment of our students, that's a really big partnership that we want to open up. We want to work with more employers, more crew agencies to help these young people get jobs.
And how complicated is that? Is that as straightforward as, hey, I'm this company, this is what we do, we need people with this skill set and qualification?
Yep.
Have you got any? Is it that straightforward?
It is kind of like that.
Right,
so that's one way. So if you are trying to crew a super yacht as an example, or you're trying to fill a beach resort with water sports instructors, you can approach us and say, we need X amount of people with these qualifications, sort of what students have you got coming through? And we get a lot of companies that are coming in and interviewing the students before they even finish their training and then offering them jobs, which is, really exciting.
Right, yeah, so before they've even finished, they know where they're going, happy days.
They know where they're going. But we're always, the other thing that we want to do is we want to hear from the industry about what they want. We hear a lot about skill shortages. So talk to us about what is the skill shortage and can we train for that shortage so that we can enable these young people to get jobs. So, the experts as well are the people that are out here, the people that are working in the industry. So if they let us know what they need, we can have discussions around, bespoke training programs for specific vessels or specific shortages that are needed in the industry.
Yeah. And so where do these people actually come from? Is it quite a long engagement period before they're then thinking and talking about a career in these qualifications? Like are the loose engagements then maybe 10 years later they're then ready for this stuff, or do they just there's kind of no UKSA from other routes? How do they?
I think a lot of people, there's a lot of word of mouth about UKSA, which is getting people onto our sort of career training programs. We do a lot of careers events.
Right.
So where we have a team going out to events within schools,
I was going to say,
secondary school careers events, universities, colleges, where we're attracting.
Yeah, where the young people are, who are looking for careers, looking for opportunities.
Okay,
yeah.
But I think the one, that's sort of a B2C transaction.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing that we want to do is a lot more the B2B transaction, because
so
we know that there's people out there. So a company needs, 10, 15 staff for X, then, come and talk to us about that. And can you help these young people by supporting them with funding to go onto the programs?
Right. Okay. So it takes a bit of long-term vision on the company's part.
Yeah.
To say, let's proactively be ready and make sure we have that human resource kind of as a pipeline.
Yep.
Ready for when they need it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a really effective way of finding the right people that are enthusiastic and qualified for that position.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is, I guess the pipeline piece is about them knowing what they're going to need in the future and how, for a company as well. But I think also there is actually now we're finding there is a lot of people that want a career in maritime. We are finding people are coming to us to get qualified, which is really great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right?
That is the goal,
Go and work here. Sounds pretty good. Yeah. And we've got a note here to make sure we talk about welfare.
Yep.
So how's welfare supported by UKSA? How does that work?
Yeah, so like I said, two things that make us unique. One is the career service, and the other one is our welfare provision. So when you're coming onto a UKSA training program, we've got a full welfare team that are there to support you on your journey. So they have one-to-one meetings with you, because life's quite difficult for young people now, and when they're coming on this journey, the training's really intense. They see UKSA as a safe space, and they might have come from a disadvantaged background or whatever, really. And the welfare team is there to support, to guide, to nurture. It's not just about the professional qualification; it's about a rounded person that is ready to go and work at sea. And again, that service doesn't stop when you leave UKSA. So we've got lots of students now working here at this show that are still in contact back with us, saying, I've got this issue. What can I do about it? How can we support it?
Yeah, and it's a lot of people as well. I mean, we came on here. There's at least one or two that have gone through a UKSA program, and they're now crewing the Asahi here.
Two of the senior, crew on here are trained through UKSA. Yeah. But I think we're also, from the welfare pieces, we're actually delivering the mental health and wellbeing training on board boats.
Okay.
So next week, as an example, I've got a team coming out here to deliver training on board a vessel to the whole crew about how to look after themselves and how to look after others. So it's really good to see that the industry is starting to understand that, and it's not just about your mandatory training, that the qualifications that you need. And again, that's what makes us unique. It's not just about your mandatory training. It's about all the other stuff that makes you, one, a better employee, two, the rounded person that can look after yourself, can look after each other, etc. So, that is, and that's available, that service, all the way through your career.
Yeah, it's kind of these sometimes considered nice to haves, but actually they'll serve the company or the person very, very well. Yeah. And it's that level of service that UKSA want to do that.
Yeah. And we've definitely seen a step change, specifically in the superyacht industry, with the way that they care and want to look after the crew, and how everybody wants to look after each other. The well-being of the crew, whether that's fitness or whether that's yoga, whether that's support. Yeah, it's really good to see.
Okay. Yeah. And you're a charity, so not for profit. Yep. How does the bursary fund work? How can businesses contribute to that? How can clients contribute to that? How does that, what's the setup?
So one of the things as well that UKSA does is every single program that UKSA delivers, whether that's your first introduction to on a school trip, all the way up to being a super yacht captain, there is funding options available. Okay. So as an example, a school trip, one of the big ones is that we have a Leave No Child Behind pot. So instead of these kids that can't afford to come, unfortunately, end up staying in the classroom, they can apply for the Leave No Child Behind, and they can come on that school trip to be inspired about a career. And then we have the industry bursary fund, which is the idea of that fund is that it's to support young people into a career in maritime.
Okay.
Yep. So what we're really asking for is, again, the skill shortage. We can help with that. Yeah. But we need the funds to help with that. We can get the people, we can attract the people, we can train the people, and the industry can give them jobs.
Yeah, and you've got a really well-established, effective method of doing it as well. It's not just a punt and we might do this. You are doing it now.
And we do have some very good industry partners that fund that support, but we need more. There is all these vessels here that need crew. Yeah. As one option, that we need them to be able to have the funding to be able to go onto our training programs if they can't afford it. And that's what we're about. It's about the opportunities for everybody. It's not just about because you can afford to come on the training.
Okay, awesome. And what's coming up? What can we expect from the UKSA the next few years? What are you kind of working on now?
Yeah, so growth, sustainable growth, train more people. Right. For the industry in the areas that specifically need it. We don't want to train people for where there's no employment, and we don't want to train the wrong people. We want to train the right people for the right destinations. Yeah. So that's a good thing that we're looking to do. We've got quite an exciting expansion project going on at the minute with a secondary site still on the Isle of Wight that we're about to open. So that's going to be quite exciting to again. More training that we can deliver.
Yeah, let's get more people through the system and keep on delivering. Yeah. And
then I think especially in the super yacht industry, the big one is where's training going? What is going to be the mandatory training? What are the qualifications going to be? How the use of AI, the use of digital, etc.
Yeah, how do people learn?
How are people going to learn? So that's a big piece of work that we're working on at the minute. which is also quite exciting.
All right, super. Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Everybody, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you're following here to see plenty more of it. All being well, we'll see you very soon. We need to thank Asahi, our host. Look at this boat. It's a beautiful sailing yacht here at the Monaco Yacht Show. So make sure if you're anything to do with brokerage or anything like that, make sure you look at Asahi. All being well, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.